I just spent a month on the Omnipod 5 and I'm not keeping it. Here's why. The first reason is pretty simple. My insurance doesn't cover it. Without insurance, the cost is about $1,800 a month, and I just can't afford that. But even if my insurance did cover it, I don't think I would choose the Omnipod over my Tandem T-Slim. Here's an iPhone 13 mini, and here is the Omnipod controller. And if you don't have the right sensor and phone setup, you have to carry the Omnipod controller with you at all times. Personally, I'd rather have a small pump like the T-Slim tethered to me than a standalone device that's big and bulky like the Omnipod controller. And knowing how often I forget my phone, I was always a little bit worried I'd forget the device and then I wouldn't be able to bolus, and there's no find my phone like iPhones. So just that extra burden was a little frustrating for me. Another reason I don't think I would choose the Omnipod over the Tandem T-Slim is the alarm notifications. I've read online and it seems like all Omnipod users have this anxiety, and I experienced it myself. It's extremely difficult to turn off the alarms for lows and highs. And even if you can manage to turn them off on the controller, the pod itself will beep, and you can't control the alarms of the pod. My wife and I recently saw a friend at an opera, and it was a small setting, very quiet. My blood sugar was riding high after dinner, and I was about to trigger an alarm. I stepped outside and I was frantically searching how to turn off the alarms on the Omnipod. And the top comment I saw on Reddit was literally, "Lobby with the FDA to let us control our medical devices." Dealing with a high blood sugar during an event like that is already stressful enough, and adding the fear of disrupting the entire event because of my pump was just too much for me. Another deciding factor for me is the bulkiness of the pod itself. You can see just how thick the pod is. It's about a finger width thick. If you've had the Tandem T-Slim, you know that the infusion sets sit really snug against the skin. Sleeping on the side where your infusion set is, you probably won't even feel a thing. The bulk of this pod was really disruptive in my sleep. I typically have it on the back of my arm or the side of my arm, and as a side sleeper, I could really feel it pressing in, and it even waked me up at times. One of the final reasons I wouldn't choose the Omnipod over the T-Slim is that when the insulin is being delivered on the Omnipod, you hear this ticking sound, almost like a clock. In my sleep, it would wake me up. I felt like it was bothering my wife at times. And even in quiet spaces, I felt like maybe other people could hear it. In general, it was just a reminder that I had a pump on. And as a type 1 diabetic, that's not really what I want. So for all of these reasons, I would choose the Tandem T-Slim over the Omnipod.